Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and today Apple released iOS 26.3 Beta 3. Now, this update came at the exact same time, or maybe a little bit later, than iOS 26.2.1, which they released earlier, and I made a video on that update already. Now, as far as the file size, it was 9.54 gigabytes on my iPhone 12, though I haven't installed the update. But along with this update, we got the release of iPadOS 26.3 Beta 3, tvOS and HomePodOS 26.3 Beta 3, and also iOS and iPadOS 26.2.1, which I mentioned earlier in a video. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what's new. There really isn't anything new, but just to show you quickly, I am not running iOS 26.3 Beta 3, as I am waiting for the next update, which could be Beta 4 or the RC, as the build number from the videos I watched, it ended in a D. So we could see Beta 4 next week or an RC, but I'll talk about that towards the end of the video. Now, what's new in iOS 26.3 Beta 3? Well, for one, we should have gotten this update last week. That's what I will say for starters. But as far as what's new in this update, there really isn't much new, but there is a feature I missed. If you go into Settings, under Privacy and Security, Location Services, you will have an option for weather wallpaper if you are running iOS 26.3 Developer Beta 3. You will have that as an option, and that's because Apple split up weather and astronomy with the update. If I go into it here, you can see weather and astronomy is about the same. And we could also see new Unity wallpapers in the next update, as I'm hoping they are better than the last wallpapers, as I did not like the fact that these wallpapers, which are the Unity Rhythm, they're lighter on the lock screen, but as you swipe up, they get dimmer. I wasn't really a big fan of that, so hopefully they improve upon the wallpapers in iOS 26.3. Another feature, Apple got rid of notification forwarding, which was a feature in iOS 26.3, which was an Apple Intelligence feature, I believe, and they got rid of it. But one feature that is still there is the transfer to iPhone, or transfer to Android rather, within the iOS 26.3 update. You have transferred to Android. That is a new feature in iOS 26.3 Beta 3. Or it's a new feature in general in 26.3. Now, as far as any other feature, well, Apple earlier today released the new AirTags 2, which is why Apple released the iOS 26.2.1 update. They needed that update to fix or to pair AirTags, the second generation, that lays the framework for the upcoming AirTags. And my iPhone is on the stable version of iOS 26.2, and as you can see, it is lagging for whatever reason as I'm making this video here, so it's really laggy. That's the unfortunate case with older hardware. It's also why I haven't installed 26.3 Beta 3. But what update could we expect after that? Well, here's my prediction. I would still expect the RC next week, though, because Apple changed the build number or it's ending in a D. I feel like Apple's done this before. But if we do get a beta 4 next week, then on February 9th, expect an RC. And that really pushes the iOS 26.3 update to February 16th. This is never seen before, Apple releasing an update, the .3 update, in the middle of February. We are usually already running the .3 update by now. But since Apple was late, they took the week off of after break to release their rapid security update. And we've seen a quiet week last week when we should have gotten beta 3 or the RC. That really pushes it. But that's due to the build number being changed to a D. However, if it still is the RC, well then expect the release on February the 9th. Though, if it's beta 4, I will most likely install it. I choose to go with beta 4 as that's closest to the RC, but still being a beta, so that I can report on feedback. If I turn on my beta updates here and go to the feedback app, if we search for it here, if we go into the feedback app here, we might have some release notes for iOS 26, or we don't have any release notes for the update yet. So if you are experiencing any bugs, you can report it in feedback, as I've done that with the bug in iOS 26.3, or 26.1 rather. I have a bug that I reported in the app library somewhere up here from October of 2025. So if you are facing bugs, you can report it in the feedback app. As far as anything else, well, that's it for iOS 26.3 Beta 3. My name is Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.